Hello everybody. So I figured I would record this short video to show you the method I use to solve things in Clue. I'm going to do a single player game. I'm going to, which one should I do? Let's do the tropical mystery. Excuse me. I'm going to use Scarlet because I am trying to accomplish win 10 games with Scarlet. I'm using the medium difficulty AI because I want to reliably win. I can sometimes win against a hard AI, but not always, so I'm just making it easy for myself. And let's start the game. So what I do is, once it gets into the game, I click everything to circle it all. And the reason I do that is because, there we go, everything's circled. So what I do is, when it's circled, then that just lets me know that's still a viable option. I know, why not just leave it alone? Because, honestly, when I know who has one of the cards that I don't have to start, then it just automatically uncircles it. So if I look over and I only see one thing circled, it's like a flashing neon sign to me that that's it. That's the thing that was used in the murder. The location, the weapon, or the suspect that did it. And I will demonstrate that once I actually figure out a card by having a turn, having someone show it to me. Also, what I do is I put a 1 for the first time someone says, "Hey, I got something." And then the second time I put a 2, the third time I put a 3. And then when it's down to only 2, like it was white with a spyglass in the hot tub, so I know it wasn't white because that's white's in my hand. So I put a question mark on those 2 for a personal reminder of, if I see only one question mark, I know the third thing was gone before I put the question marks in. Excuse me. Kind of got a little bit of congestion, so where are we gonna go? The first thing I usually do each game is the number 1 room, and then I just pick me so I don't pull anyone else on the board, and the first weapon because it's a good start. And now I found out that Peach has a harpoon, so that's taken care of. And another good thing about using the AI instead of going live online against other actual people is the AI is fast. In an actual game with other people, I'd still be waiting for them to pick which room. So look at this. I have white in my hand. Who is that? Meadowbrook already said she doesn't have the helicopter pad on a previous turn when asked about white, the harpoon, and the helicopter pad. So we already know she doesn't have white or the helicopter pad, which means she has to have the oxygen tank. So that made that one easy. And the other thing I occasionally will pause to look for is if there's any numbered X's. If I see any X's that have a little number like this on it, then that lets me know I need to change my notes up to keep track of stuff. And that one, we know it's not the observation bay, that's in my hand. So put a little 1 next to those. And while I'm at it, question mark to help remind myself. Also, because I'm using the local version, single player, I'm using all the non-starting characters. Anyone that's not getting achievement for getting 10 wins with them, I'm just not using them. And then we have 2 over here, 2 over here, put another question mark. And I know from this, if Rose has the spyglass, then Rose probably doesn't have the helicopter pad or the hot tub. But if Rose doesn't have the spyglass, then I know Rose does have the helicopter pad and the hot tub. That is a very big play when it happens. I bet Rose has a spyglass, and I don't know about the rooms. Another one that happened earlier today was I was looking through one of the AI players, and I noticed that everything was X'd except for the one thing that had a question mark in it. So I knew for a fact, because there were 2 cards I knew, and everything else except 1 card had an X. I was able to narrow down. That has to be the 3rd card in their hand. I hate showing cards, because that's information the AI knows. Oh, and look at this. We have a 2 that's gotten rid of. So I know because of this that the second time Rose said something, it wasn't the helicopter pad. It was the spyglass. So we get rid of that 2. We get rid of that 1. And then we also know that when Rose said they had something the first time, it must have been the spyglass. Maybe Rose actually does have the hot tub. I don't know. So now looking at these, oh, we figured out that it isn't this 1, which means it could be this, or it could be this. And then we've also figured out, based on this current one, this has to be a 2, and this is a 2, and this is a 2. So the second time Irene Adler said she had something, it's Meadowbrook, the diving knife, or the game room. We don't know which of those 3 it is, but we know it has to be one of those. First time was Meadowbrook or the lounge. So we've narrowed down the first time to one of those, and the second time is one of the 2s. Oh, my turn. And I will admit I'm using this default Scarlet because I do like the sprite that's used for when she's suggested committing the crime. Where am I going to go? I guess the game room to narrow things down, possibly. So then I want to find out about Meadowbrook for sure. And then I guess we'll ask about the ore. Excuse me. And look at that. So we did find out the games room, but we also found out this 2 isn't it, and this 2 isn't it, and this 1 isn't it. Oh, I'm so glad I'm recording, because it has to be the diving knife, that's the last 2, and it has to be the lounge, and that's the last 1. And with just that 1 turn, we figured out 2 of Irene Adler's cards. We've also figured out that it isn't the ore in Captain White's hand, so we know it has to be Rose. That was a big turn. I figured out 3 cards. I cleared out all my numbers. That is very good. I am well ahead of the medium difficulty AIs. And enter. And also, I don't know all 3 cards for anybody. I know 2 out of the 3 for Peach and Irene Adler, but no numbers, so I can't narrow things down. I'll get back to that later. So now we have. It wasn't the observation bay. Meadowbrook already said she doesn't have the ore, so we know this has to be Peach. Has to be, has to be. Moving on. Meadowbrook gets a 7, goes to the hot tub. Is it the hot tub? We know it isn't Peach. Oh, we know it isn't Peach. It could be the flare gun, or it could be the hot tub. So, because there's only 2 there in our notes, question mark, which doing all that on with pencil and paper is rather cumbersome because you have to erase, and then there's, I don't know, there's a lot. Which is why when I'm doing this in person, I like using an app for Clue notes. I'm not going to mention a specific one. I'm just going to say, do a search of the App Store. I'm sure you can find one. Or the Play Store, depending on if you have an Android or an iPhone. Personally, I can't. I could never get an iPhone. So, I've got white in my hand. We know Rose doesn't have the oxygen tank, so it has to be the bar. This should be getting old for you. Me pausing to explain every time. If you have to listen to my explanation every time, maybe Clue isn't the game for you. I don't know. But Clue is a very good game to figure out how to take proper notes and deduce things. That literally does not give us any new information. Moving on. And I hate showing cards. Where can I go? If I can get to the hot tub, I can. Then, hold on. What do I know? I've narrowed down. I know 3 suspects out of 6 that couldn't have done it. I know 4 weapons out of 6 that it couldn't have been. And I know 5 rooms out of 9 that it couldn't be. So I have 4 possibilities for rooms, 2 for weapons, and 3 for suspects. So if I do I am going to go to the hot tub, because if I get a low roll next turn, I can at least get to a room. So for this one, I'm going to, we don't know anything about Adler, so doing that, and then I'm going to select the ore, because if we find out that that White doesn't have the hot tub, then we know White has a flare gun. Oh, and this is the hot tub. So that means we don't know about this, because it must have been this that was shown. And that clears off all the numbers. So, moving on. And we're down to 3 suspects, 3 rooms, and 2 weapons. All the notes I'm taking, and I've cleared all of them out. That is very good. You want to clear out your notes. if you have notes, that is the spyglass being shown. I know for a fact. And it isn't the games room. It could be Meadowbrook. How do I know Meadowbrook is being shown, not the game room? I don't. Moving on. Captain White. Helicopter pad. It could be Meadowbrook. Aha! Now we know it's the helicopter pad. And because the X's look like these X's and not like these X's, we know that everybody knows it was in the helicopter pad. So that is not a mystery. We also know it was Meadowbrook. So we've got that narrowed down because we also know by the type of X's in there, these X's and not these X's, that everybody knows it was Meadowbrook. So since it's down to the flare gun or the ore, if nobody has correctly accused by the time I have my turn, I will be able to suggest either the flare gun or the ore, my choice. And if somebody has something, then we know what it isn't. And we also know what it is. And that one is, might as well take notes because it could help. And that is 3, so we also know to fill in X's for everything else in this column, because there's only 3 cards in each person's hand. Because if you look at the top, there's only 3 dots, and the 3 dots are all full. There's an empty dot here, empty dot, empty dot, empty dot. So if there were numbers here, I would fill in all the spaces that don't have a number, because I know those can't be it. Because if there's a number in it, they said they have something, but I don't know what. And can Rose figure it out? With the ore. Oh, that didn't give me any new information. And did not solve it. My turn. Can I get to the helicopter pad to verify? I can. I could do this in the observation bay too. But no. I'm going to the helicopter pad to fully verify. And I am going to say I gotta pick Meadowbrook. And I'm going to say the flare gun. Meadowbrook with a flare gun in the helicopter pad. Oh. So Captain White has the flare gun. But nobody has the ore. Meadowbrook with ore in the helicopter pad. Meadowbrook or helicopter pad. Yes, I put the correct things that I think it is. And if I get this wrong, I lose the game. And I get the hidden achievement of accuse and get it wrong. The ore was correct. And it was in the helicopter pad. And Meadowbrook did it! And that is how to win at Clue. $170 because it was against medium. Difficulty medium. 4 turns. So with that said, if you want to find more of me, you can find me at. Hold on while I get the appropriate information up. You can find more of me at KHZHAK on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. And if you search Google for that and your safe search is turned off, that's your problem. Otherwise, if you look at my schedule on Twitch, you can find out when I'm streaming things with my friends. I don't stream directly myself, but I will host the content I'm involved with streaming on my channel, so you can see what I'm involved with. And also, if you're on any of these lovely websites, if you recognize any of those logos, and you look for me, I do have an account there, although some of them I don't really look at too much. But I have an account there. So other than that, if those logos didn't mean anything to you, never mind. And if you want to see more of this, I guess like, comment, subscribe, click the bell, and I guess that'll do it for me for today. So have a pleasant weekend, because I'm uploading this on a Saturday. Have a good one.